Okay, so this is on the 8 count Suburi. First, I think my mind is always like, why? Why this effing set? I think that a lot of teachers teach with like legacy in mind, and they want to live forever. To me, it's a fear of death, and ultimately a spiritual immaturity. So in a recent post, when I said sand mandala, for those who don't know, these sand mandala are made painstakingly and then they're wiped away immediately. What I was noting was the impermanence of it, not the magic of the mandala. Fuck that shit, okay? Get over yourself. You're gonna fucking die. You're here to reach communion with God. Everything is in a state of impermanence, and fucking grow up. So I watch these people who don't really have a spiritual Aikido. They have a fear of death. They're gonna mask up and vaccine and all that bullshit. And they're gonna train gently. It all goes together. They're gonna seek power over you. So they're gonna make sets. They're gonna make monuments. And talking to some of you, you do have these sons of gods that their followers will make monuments of them. But there's more sons of gods that you never heard of, because they did not have this fear of death. They leave no monuments. They make sand mandalas. So these teachers make these sets. They're very strange. Take, for example, Chiba's 36 Joe. There's not fucking 36. There's like 48 of them. Like, what the fuck? Because Saito said there's 36 Joe. Why do you get the number 36? You trace it back somewhere, and you got some fucking numerologist that's just trying to get rid of his insecurity by finding some secret to the universe, and that's where you get these magic numbers. No grace comes through this seeking of power. My way is a way of self-abandonment. So you have this 8 count Suburi, and you're like, why? Why 8? Why not 7? Why not 12? But everyone wants to make a big deal out of it. 8, there's 8. You're doing number 4 wrong. I've seen people mix up 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Who gives a fuck? The fact that they're mixed upable is telling you this ain't shit. So I'm not fencing because I don't even have a partner. I'm not getting better internally because there's so much other shit that takes away from the internal aspects. I'm not practicing Kokyu and Aiki and don't even have a partner. There's so many better ways of doing any of the things that you might get out of the set. I'm not getting stronger. Why am I doing this? When you look at it, you just have fear of death, man. Just a monument. You're trying to collect things like pharaohs would shove shit in the tombs, want to live for forever. So there's no why to this. There's no why. And once you realize that, I think you're free of someone else's fear of death and you should play with it so it makes sense. Now, the reasoning that I got on the 8, which is obviously bullshit, is that these are all the ways that you can do Shihonage. It's just not true. There's an infinite amount of ways that you can do Shihonage. But I think it's important that if you're going to make it a body art technique, then you should move the way that you do in body art. That means no double pivoting. That means no rotation of the body when the line of gravity is between the feet. That means you have to have a ground vector. And most importantly, because there's so much rotation in here, that you have to know how to get on the other side of the yang apex of a curve, which you always need to do in Shihonage, but they don't do 9 out of 10 times. So let's just kind of experiment a little bit as I make this point to identify where's the single pivot point, where's the grounding foot, how to keep your line of gravity on a single pivot point, and how to get to the other side of the yang apex of the articulation degree. I'll show you this stuff, okay? Of course, we have to always keep the harmonies between the joints, so we're not gonna stand in this goofy stance, not have our arches cave in, not torque our knees, all that stuff is bullshit. Because we're rotating, your yang foot is gonna drill down on the ball of the foot, okay? And the yin foot is pretty much, who cares what the yin foot is doing, as long as it stays in the harmonies between the foot, the knee, and the quad. Okay, so let's get into this. More important than the set is to realize there is a certain footwork in there, and that footwork is universal to all of your Kihon. But it's not in Chiba's lineage. It's not there. If you do it that way, you're not going to see the footwork, okay? But the footwork is that you're going to take weight from, in this case, my back foot. I'm going to irimi, put weight onto the new front foot, and then rotate, drilling down on that ball of the foot. So I say, if you really want the most out of this set, you forget the set, and you would do this footwork instead. You have a line that you use as a reference point. Slide across, shift your weight onto that foot, drill that foot down such that you pull the yin foot across that line. Drop down, shift across, shift over, turn, and you pull the yin foot across the line. So again, you don't need a line. You can do this way. Boom, 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 boom. We do this constantly in Kihon waza. So for example, it is at the beginning of your tenkan. It is at the beginning of your Shiro tenkan. It's in your ikkyo starting, pull right there on the hip turn. Irimi nage, you just didn't turn it all the way. It's everywhere, okay? What is it? You're just going to shift weight, drill down. Bring the other leg with you into harmony. That's all you're doing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? We're going to try this for a while and then we'll come back with more details. All right, so if you're doing count 3, you're going to tenkan. So you're going to tenkan. lot of people have their weight in between their legs, their line of gravity, and they double pivot. My weight's here in the middle. And then they swing around and go like this. Okay. Looks like this. Okay, this never works. We've done many videos on this that when your line of gravity is between your base of support, you can stand on this side of me. Okay? And you're just gonna hold my gi and you're gonna pull that way. Okay? And when I tenkon in the middle of that, you're going to lose your base. We've done one with Leah with the belt around her. We did one recently. That line of him pulling my gi would also be his mass, just the mass alone, okay? It doesn't work, it's incorrect. You have to establish that single pivot point on that foot, then this foot goes back. On Ushido Tenkan, it's gonna be the same thing. So you're coming around this way, pull, don't turn here. You have to shift onto this foot and then do the turn. What you're trying to do is avoid that double pivot because that puts your line of gravity in the middle. You have to shift weight onto that leg. You do that move we just did, and then you step back. How far? You can't lose the 6 harmonies. Here, good enough. You're doing Ushido Tenkan, same thing, in, up. You're not gonna go over. This becomes paramount on the left side, especially as you come around, so that you're not all weirded out on this, which is even more awkward because your left hand is back. Okay? So you can work Tenkan or Ushido Tenkan. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. But don't undo the 6 harmonies. Keep your foot, your knee, and your claw in alignment. Careful when you work the left side. You get more twist, okay? But we'll play with that now. Go. So, if I'm doing Shihonage and I do it the other way, this turn here is very weak. You know, if I got there and I double pivot, you can see that I am on one side, I'm on the wrong side of the circle on my hands. What usually happens is the uke walks backwards and gets in place with this bullshit. You have to turn, step into place, come back onto this foot. Now I'm on the other side. Turn on this foot. First move. Then you step back. And then you're going to pivot on that front foot. And you're on the other side. Pivot, back, boom, I'm on this side. And that's what is in the form. So, turn, and I have to get back onto that side. I can't go like this and turn double pivot. I have to get back on this side. Now I'm ready to idimi. Boom, into the form. So we'll do this Shihonage, shift, boom, get into the space, come back on this side. Okay, let's play with that. Nothing changes on my Ushido Tenkan. I go this way, and I come on this side of that yang apex. Boom. Don't go here. In turn, you're not there. You have to come back onto this foot to get in place. Which means you have to single pivot. Boom, boom, boom. And you can hit. Okay, let's try that one. All right, the set is basically a grid. So you work the 180 and the 90, that's all. And so if Shihonage is my justification for the set, even if I agree that there's only 8 Shihonage, which I don't, this is not how we should be doing Kihon waza. The Kihon waza should always rotate the fight. Okay, so he's coming in, and as he comes in, I'm always rotating the fight. Always. If I'm going to do the Ura version, then I still have to rotate the fight. Or I go to the right and he goes to the left, following my angle of deviation, angle of deflection. And you're here is where you would find the Bushido Tenkan area. Okay, so I go this way, and then I can make it. It's a smaller rotation, but it's there. This way. We'll not going to do this stuff. No. Ridiculous. Okay? Lastly, human tendency to slur diction. You can see this even on one. Is someone skiing like that in prep for the cut? Your ski should be straight, boom, in. And you can do that if you shift on that foot. So here I am at the end of number 1, hold the tip, 2 hands, okay? And I should drive in, boom, and have the Kokyu projection in there. Boom. Kokyu project, boom. Then the turn and the cut, okay? If you double pivot, you're gonna go here and you're like this, do you see? And that you don't get shit. Your ski should be a ski. There's your cut, okay? But I do think the double pivoting, the no grounding foot, and not getting past on the other side of the yin apex of the articulation of the turn, that's the most important thing. Double pivoting, line of gravity in the middle of your feet while you're rotating, terrible. And should be avoided at all costs. So, if I wanted to work what was in the 8-count Suburi, I would, and we do, this drill instead. This drill instead. Shomen Suburi. Our Bulkin sets instead with partner. And then Shihonage itself. You can get way more out of all of that versus, let's see your 8-count Suburi. Okay? My opinion. So, we've been practicing it, and I don't think what I was saying was as clear. I don't just mean that the fight is rotating. Of course I mean that. But I don't stop rotating in the fight. Okay? And when you have this sword form, especially when you double pivot, and you go here, you're going to be going against the energy of the uke. Okay, so let's just fake it for a little bit. Okay, so I'm here, I come over here, and then I go like this. Right here, you are fighting the inertia. Okay, and then you have to overpower that to get that to go. Okay, so do that side again. Here, And you would never get here for real, but let's say you do. And you come around here, and now you're starting to pull that energy to get it to go here, which your uke will reconcile by stepping back for you, okay? This is not the art. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna go around, he's gonna go around me. Or I do the number 4. It's not that I come here and then reverse it, pull on him. He keeps going around me. That's gonna give us a couple things. If I'm doing a back break fall, or requiring you to do back break fall, which way should your center be going? Forward, forward, okay? So you go like this. It's not going forward. See, then everything gets faked here. Your center is gonna go forward, you see? Okay? And that can't be in the sword form. So if Shiho Naga is my justification for the set, whatever, okay?